Hey, thanks for coming by. My name is John Disque, and today we're going to talk just a little bit about deflection. Okay? And I don't want to bring up this big old controversy. I don't want to sound like a dick. I don't want that one a little bit. But the truth is, deflection is 100% natural. You're taking a long, skinny piece of wood from some tree branch in Africa, and you're hitting a round object with it. And if you hit it a little bit off center, the cue ball's going to deflect, man. Furthermore, no $500 piece of carbon fiber is going to change that. Okay? But on the other hand, if a $500 shaft increases your confidence and eliminates all doubt, well, confidence is an absolute necessary ingredient in all pool games, not just 9-ball, of course. I mean, you have to be confident to play this game at a high level. You probably know that by this point. So if the most expensive equipment in the world helps you with your confidence, then it's most likely a great investment for you. And that's not. I'm going to avoid the cost of these things. I'll bring that up in another video, and what the cost really is to manufacture these things and to buy this product. But I'm going to save that because it gets more controversial here. But anyway, let's get on with this video. Thanks again for coming by. I really do appreciate you. Alright, let's jump right in and get this started before that air conditioner kicks on and we have to pause. Cue ball to the 1, the 1 to the 2, the 2 to the 3, the 3. Got an issue with this 3 ball. It's going to be the key shot. The 3 to the 4. We have to get right on this 3 ball. In fact, we have to get perfect on this 3 ball. Yeah, one of the big problems with the 3 to the 4 is this 8 ball. We're going to have to come down over here and take the cut shot. Which is okay, because it should give us a decent angle to get on the 5. So the 4 to the 5, 5 to the 6. The 6 ball is off the rail and will go in the side. 6 to the 7 and the 7 to the 8. This is going to be another key shot. The 7 to the 8. There's a couple different ways you can play that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. The 8 to the 9. Which, yeah, it's pretty easy. So let's go ahead, man. Let's roll the main footage. Let's turn down the volume, which I always forget to do. And let's groove on down the road. By the way, Mark, I did read your comment, and I've been meaning to get to it. I haven't had time. The reason I don't turn the volume up to hear the trolls trolling me in the background, which is all just, they consider it fun and games. They're trying to throw me off my game. And it's just, I take it as a challenge. There's nothing. I mean, sometimes I get pissed off. If I'm in a match and they do it, God forbid, man, I'll go off. And they know not to do that. But I mean, listen to this background noise. I can't stand that noise, so. But I'll put a filter or something on the audio, and I'll do that for you so you can hear these idiots. I got a little bit ahead here. There's a couple of ways you can play this shot. You can just trickle the one ball in and the side and just bounce off this rail just a hair, just enough to stroke this too. The problem with that is you're going to have, because you're going to be close to the rail, it's going to be a little bit difficult to draw, two short rails and back up on this 3 ball. And we need to be where the 5 ball is right now on this 3 ball to get back to the 4 ball. So the best way to do it is to try to sneak in this doorway between the 3 and the 2, and then just go off this rail and try to bump the 5 ball out of the way. You got to be careful here. You don't want to snooker. And I was a little bit worried I was going to get snookered there, and as I'm walking around this table, you can see my reaction. I'm not real sure that I'm not snookered, and I won't know until I get behind this cue ball and see what I got here. Oh, come on. I don't know why it's pausing itself. But you can see a little bit of frustration there, and that's all I wanted to show you. I have to manipulate this cue ball to hit this 3 where it needs to be hit and to draw it off this rail and back on this side of the 4. This is an odd case where I'm actually everybody talks about deflection and how evil and horrible deflection is. But sometimes you can use deflection to your benefit. And this is a case of doing it. I'm putting bottom left on this, and this is going to send the cue ball to the right just a little bit before it hooks up and massays to the 3 and draws off this rail. I'll pick this thought up as soon as this air conditioner turns off. It'll be just a second. So, alright, just for a little bit of a recap, I went a little bit long on after shooting the 2 and getting back on the 3 and wound up snookered just by a hair on the 5 ball. Now, if you jack up and put left-hand English on this ball, and this is why I'm jacked up here. Some people give me a hard time about being jacked up, too jacked up. But there's a reason for it, and this is a good reason. You're actually deflecting this cue ball just a hair. You can't see it with the naked eye, but you're getting around this 5 ball. You're avoiding hitting it. You're putting bottom on it too, and you're coming back over here. So I mean, if you put it right hand bottom English jacked up like this, you're gonna hit the 5 full, and yeah. So you're actually massaying the ball, but again, you can't see it with the naked eye. And you're using deflection as your friend. Make friends with deflection. That sounds like a title. Make friends with deflection. Yeah, I'm going to use it. Alright, so let's do it and quit battling about it. So yeah, that's it. I'm looking a little perplexed here, but I don't know what the problem is. I'm perfect on I'm a little close to the rail. Ain't no biggie. Yeah, I'm looking for the line to get back behind this 5 ball. I want to get behind it because I need to get on the 6 to get the right position on the 7. And when we get to the 7 to the 8, I'm going to show you a couple different options on how to play it and how not to play it and the right way to play it. This should be a stop shot if I'm not mistaken. I drew back a little bit to get the position I want on the 6. Now I want to pause it here, and we're going to go to the graphs. I think the most common scenario is the player will shoot the 6 ball, bounce off this rail here, and somewhere out to this position. And then they'll shoot the 7 with the objective to get back on this line for the 8 ball. The reason it's not a good option is because if you go long, you're going to scratch. If you come up short, you're going to have a long shot on the 8. So both of those, issues are not the way to go. Now I'm going to show you another bad option that players use. Alright, because I've always been a draw junkie, this is how I would choose to play the shot when I was young and irresponsible. I would get the cue ball down in this position right here, and then I would draw it with the arch back to this rail and try to get on the line. And in my home pool room, when I was just learning how, this game is played, this is what I would do. And I would nail it over and over and over again. But the problem was when I got out in the real world and started playing in tournaments and matches, all tables didn't react the same. There was different cloth and different rails and different cue balls. And things suddenly got weird. And the problem with this is, depending on the cloth, you're never really positive where this cue ball's going to hook up on this rail and the draw starts taking place somewhere around halfway. And if you put a little bit of English on it, you're liable to come down this way. Or if you're dealing with a tight rail, you're liable to come back this way. So it can quickly get away from you and turn into a mess. So it's not a good option. So here we are, and here's this yellow thick line is the line from the center of the pocket through the 8 ball and to the nearest rail. And the spot is right there to get that natural angle from this position right here. So if we follow that line back, the opposite angle from this line right here is this line and this spot on the head rail back to the 7 ball and from this position right here. So if we get the cue ball right here, this is the natural line for a straight in shot on the 8 ball. This is if you want to draw it back to somewhere around this position for a decent shot on the 9 ball. I don't exactly want to draw this ball back. I want to play the angle off this bottom rail and just come back up. Although I do go a little bit long, my objective was to just put a little bit of left-hand spin on this and come back for a little bit of a closer shot on the 9, and I wound up going long. But the point is to get a shorter angle and to come up on that position where we could go to the bottom rail. The place to be while shooting the 6 ball is right here, and this will increase that angle, send it further along this rail, and decrease the angle coming off this second rail to get a position for a cut shot on the 8 instead of being straight in. Either way will work. I think the best thing, it really depends on where your level of confidence with the draw stroke is. But the first 2 options should not even be considered, especially while shooting on the 8. You don't want to get all the way to the 8 and screw things up now. Okay, if you have any questions about that, just shoot them down there in the comment section and I will get to them. So let's proceed. If you watch me walking around to this 7 ball, you will see me, I think, point to a place on this rail here. That's not exactly pinpoint, but I'm looking for the angle off this rail to get on the line for the 8 ball, the line I want, not the straight in shot line. It was kind of a double check there. So now we should be in a position to go down to the bottom round, put a lot of left-hand English on this, and I go a little bit long here. I shot it a little bit too hard. That would have been fine stopping at center table on that. But again, it ain't no biggie. Ain't no biggie. Make friends with Deflection. Peace, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Let's watch this game without me gabbing.